Hello everyone, welcome to Kitchen Table Talk presented by Scrumptious Creole Kitchen. I swear I haven't had anything to drink and I'm like, but I'm really excited to talk about this episode today because we have this in every area of our life, no matter if you're the most successful person or, you know, just not at a place where you want to be in your life. Everyone has these moments where they sabotage or they keep doing the same pattern that's not serving them over and over again, and you know, of course, that produces the same result. And it's actually the definition of insanity, doing the same thing expecting a different result. And it is a form of self-sabotage, along with procrastination or whatever your drug of choice is. Mine for a long time was food and just overeating, and I would sabotage with food, and it would just keep me in my place. It would keep me from my health, wealth, even relationship goals, my career goals, you know, so it just really got in the way of everything. And so once I learned to move past that, it really helped. It was amazing. So, gosh, I didn't know this was in the frame. I'm putting together, I just moved and I'm putting together some furniture, and I got my power drill out. It makes me feel so butch. I love it. But I'm going to take it out of the frame right now. So, self-sabotage. And feel free to, if you're watching, put in like what your drug of choice is, or what is that one thing, that one area in your life, or that one habit that you have that you know you use to sabotage, or it just holds you back. It could be a daily pattern that you do, whether it's like just a thought process you have, or it's an action you take. It could be smoking cigarettes, it could be anything. And like I was saying before, mine was food. I would just kind of either anesthetize myself or you know, use it as an excuse, just overeating, or like, oh, I can't do that because mama's full, I could barely, like, I'm just not cute right now. Or I would just actually numb out with food at night or whatever. So, and people do that with drinking, with cigarettes, with tons of different things. So what is yours? The first step is identifying it. What is it? What's holding you back? And I also think a huge step to the whole self-sabotage thing is to not over-identify with it. I can't tell you many times, like, I first start working with clients and they're really in a frustrated place. They're, you know, definitely sick of what's going on, and they're like, I always do this and I am the biggest sabotage, I just sabotage, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, hold on, Felicia. I don't actually have a client named Felicia, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, calm the fuck down and stop over-identifying it with it and giving it so much goddamn energy. It's a bad habit. Just think of it as that. First of all, just kind of like minimize your, not minimize, but just reduce the energy that you're giving to it and all the identifying you're doing with it. And just be like, okay, we have a really bad habit here that's not serving you. It's, you know, causing health issues. It's causing wealth, whatever your thing is. Hi, Kellen. Oh my God, I miss you so much. I was just thinking about you. Hi, Felicia. So, thanks for watching. Miss you, boo. You want to be in a place where you're identifying with it, but you're identifying what it is you want to get rid of, but not over-identifying with this whole process of like, this is my thing, that because you create an identity around it. And I think that people like really unconsciously do that. They're not like aware of the fact that that's actually contributing to the problem. So first of all, remove yourself from identifying with it and just kind of think of it as like you're just going to take it, put it over here. It's like, this is a bad habit that I'm going to get rid of. And that's the first thing you want to do. I suggest taking out a piece of paper, writing it down, like this is just one thing. You might have 500 things, like you've got 99 problems, but just start with the first one. And what it is, whatever it is, because everything's interconnected, like I talk about on this show and I talk about on Fat Girl Fitness, everything is very interconnected. So just take one issue that's really getting to you. So do something that you do on a like daily basis that's like, oh, I don't want to do that. Like I said, mine was just kind of eating too much at night. So just take one thing and think about it. And what is it doing for you? And the other thing is like, yeah, there are, I guess, schools of thought that it's kind of like, you know, you're punishing yourself, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of times these things that you do to sabotage, in the moment your brain has a very limited capacity actually, and your brain is trying to just keep you, you know, in a pleasure mode. It doesn't understand, a lot of times it doesn't understand like long-term parts of your brain just want that pleasure part right now. It's like, what's it going to do? And it actually keeps you in your comfort zone, whatever that is. Like, so know that whatever your sabotage behavior is, It's just one part of your brain wanting to keep you in, its place in your comfort zone and keep you like happy and produce pleasure, at least in the moment. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's totally fine. We're meant to kind of be in that space. Not meant to be in that space, but you want to be, a big part of our body is in survival mode. So, the other part is about accomplishing your goals. And so that's where we want to be. So, think about the behavior. Decide what it is that you want to change, and like know that, what is the positive, I'm reading my notes here, what is the positive intent that your brain is trying to give you? And a lot of times it's to have pleasure, but it ends up holding you back. So from there, decide to stop and create a new pattern. Now, how do you do that? Write down the consequences, make a list of all the consequences that this behavior is causing you. And then write down all the things that would happen if you chose whatever behavior you want to replace it with. So for me, like eating too much at night, I would like to not eat much at night and not go to bed like feeling full and like sleeping well and everything. And you want to give more and more energy, because whatever you give energy to is what grows. So you want to give energy to that, to the process and what will happen. And how will you feel when you change this behavior pattern and become the thing that you want to be? Because you have to, once you shift, your identity shifts and your behavior shifts. So what would be different? How would you feel if that behavior wasn't in the way, or if you weren't in that mode? Because really, it's just a behavior, or it's just a habit. All it is a habit. You don't need to identify with it any more than that. And it's like, got a habit I don't like, gonna fix it. And you could take baby steps to get there. It doesn't have to be black and white. I don't recommend that ever, because it doesn't really work. You're just kind of, you usually go up and down like on a Richter scale when that happens. So like, just again, decide what it looks like for you to not have that thing that's sabotaging you. What have you accomplished? What did you do? What do you want to be or become? Or like, what is it? How do you look? How does your life look? And how are you a different person now that you don't have this annoying behavior in the way that's fucking things up a little bit? And devote more and more energy to that, and just get in a space before you do anything else. Now write it down and decide what that all looks like, and then get in a space where you're feeling it, because everything is based on emotion. Emotion is energy in motion, and it creates the world around you. Whatever you think and feel, really what you feel is what you draw in. If you feel abundant, you draw that in. If you feel like love, you receive love from other people. So whatever it is, feel it on every level, and not just like, okay, I'm done in 5 minutes. Like every moment that you have, fill your brain, occupy your brain with those thoughts, because then it'll happen faster. This is all just rewiring your brain, which you have a lot of control over. When you're in a mode where you're kind of putting yourself down and like, I always do this, you're giving it way too much power. You have so much more power over yourself and your behavior and your thoughts and everything, what you draw into your life, what you release from your life, and it all starts with how you feel and what you think. So coming from that space and devoting as much energy as you can to that. And then the other thing is, it's funny because I went to this conference, and someone that I was at the conferences is watching IROSH, and one of the things that we learn in this conference is the term, oh, what the fuck, go for it anyway. And so when you're learning a new behavior pattern, and you have all these thoughts, the fears, the whatever, all these like negative things holding you in place, and that sabotage just being like, oh, but you're comfortable here, you get short-term gratification here. But I really like the phrase, oh, what the fuck, go for it anyway. So just for one day, try it different. If it's about, I was reading an example in a book about like going, like asking someone on a date or whatever, if you're a guy, and like how that could be a really intimidating process to do on a regular basis. But let's look at the short-term effects. You're doing this thing where you're shy or whatever, and you're single, and like that sucks, but you have the short-term thing of like, okay, well, I didn't get rejected. But then the long-term thing is this like, okay, well, I feel alone, or it would be a really great thing to be in a relationship, so I'm gonna get out of my comfort zone a little bit and do something a little different. Oh, what the fuck, go for it anyway. And ask that person out. I'm gonna do something a little bit different and get my fat ass to the gym because I never do it and I just complain about being fat all the time. You know what I mean? So it's just whatever it is, decide to shift. Get yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone, like shake up your world. Like Tony Robbins calls it that, like shaking things up. And when you do that, you literally create a new neural pathway in your brain that's like, oh, this is normal. This is what I like doing. And before long, you have this new habit that's a habit that's actually serving you instead of this old habit that wasn't serving you and creating a lot of self-sabotage, to the point where the more you do it, that's why I'm saying occupy your brain with it, the more you do it, the quicker that habit will have. And I've done this with so many things that I'm like, that is so weird that I used to be like that. Just about the little, like how I thought about money and my health, or even like I teach and do yoga, I'd be like, oh, I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that. And it's just like, once I shifted my mind out of that, it's like, yeah, I could do whatever. And I teach my students that too, and my clients in other ways about, you know, their own health and what's possible just by feeling differently and deciding to act differently. The most beautiful thing that we have in life is free will. And we also have used it to fuck up a lot, so don't do that. You know, if you have an opportunity or something that's presented to you that would serve you, don't go into self-sabotage mode. You can reject that relationship or that awesome career move or whatever because you feel like you don't deserve it, or it's just out of your comfort zone, or you're afraid of some kind of pain. Like even, I've seen this a lot with people that have like an amazing opportunity in front of them and they totally sabotage it for themselves. And they're like, well, they didn't want to experience the pain of like making other people, their success, making other people uncomfortable, or, you know, having more, whatever it is. Or even with weight loss, I see this a lot. People get to their goal and then boom, something happens and it's like, oh, well, my partner was reacting differently to me, or my friends or whatever. Those people, when you make good changes in your life, sometimes people that aren't serving you dissipate. People that aren't on your level, like you should continue to go up and up and up, and that's what life's about. And having those people that truly support you no matter what, in your highs, your lows for sure, but especially during your highs, and they should lift you up even more. But just notice that when that's going on, what area in your life do you almost get somewhere and then it's like, and then something keeps you down. It's like, what is that thing? What are you afraid of experiencing? Self-sabotage a lot is about not wanting to experience pain. So no, and it's usually something that's just made up in our head, like that we think that we are afraid of, or so just know that whatever that pain is, it's probably self-created, or it's fear, which is false evidence appearing real, and that you get to move through that, you get to evolve, and when you do, it's like the best feeling in the world. And you could also help other people do that too. So I think that's really important. And then once you start to, you know, constantly occupy your mind with other things, you get to rehearse it, because you're becoming that person. You're becoming this new person that obviously doesn't have that behavior pattern anymore, because you don't self-sabotage anymore. So now this is normal for you. Whatever it is you want, it's like, this is my reality now. This is my new reality, and that's all. So constantly training your brain to be in that space of what you want. And again, the first step is just noticing. Just start with one thing, write it down, and decide, hey, this is what I want to be different. These are the short-term consequences that maybe bring like a little bit of pleasure, and these are the long-term consequences. And if I change the behavior, these are all the fucking phenomenal long-term changes I would have in my life if I did something different. And really, I cannot express to you how important it is to really feel that on every level. Whatever you want to become, just feel it. And it will come rushing into your life. Like a lot of my work with my private practice clients is just really about this. Like I said, everything's interconnected, your mind, your body, and everything. And when you do that, like when you are in that feeling space of feeling like, okay, this is what I want, like how is your body? Are you like this? Are you like, no, you're like this? You know, whatever it is that you want to do, become, whatever you want, whatever it is that, you know, that once you remove the behavior that's blocking you from, you know, your ultimate potential, then you're there. And you know, your body's different, you look different, your face is different. So all of those things come into play. So if you're watching this a little bit later, just watch it from the beginning so you can get all the steps. If you're watching this later and there's something like you have a question about, maybe something that you thought I left out, let me know like in the comments box and I'll get back to you. But I just think this is a great time to get rid of any self-sabotaging behaviors. It's spring, it's all about renewal. Last week my show was about that, about just all this renewal coming into place. So it's a great time to get rid of like physical junk, like if you have, and not my computer, I love my computer, but like physical things that you don't need anymore, like just make a big trip to Goodwill, but also your internal space. What behaviors do you, that are holding you back? It's time to be like, peace out, need those anymore. And I'm so excited for you to do that. Next week, I'm gonna have one of my friends, Kamal, on the show, who has a business called Invictus Fitness, and I'm so excited. So he'll be my guest next week. If you know him, tune in. I'll be promoting it and tagging about it. But thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you later. Don't forget to follow my Instagram, Scrumptious Creole Kitchen, and the page. I just started a blog and I'm adding more recipes, so stay tuned for that. All right, everyone, have an amazing day. I'm so excited for all the things that you're gonna create in your day and week today. Mwah. Bye, Felicias.